What's happening? What's happening? What is happening? Mm, what is happening? So we officially in the Trump presidency, man. Officially. 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 We are in the Trump presidency. He said for the risk. Yeah, man. We gotta go. We in Philly. You know what, man? Just looking at the game like this. The Redskins got a quarterback, man. They got a quarterback, man. And when you have a quarterback, you have a chance. When you have a quarterback, you have a chance. We got a quarterback, man. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm just sitting back and watching, man. Yeah, I got Saquon, man. Saquon is a weapon, man. I was a very big Saquon Barkley fan when he was in college. When he was at Penn State, I was a very big Saquon Barkley fan when he was at Penn State. Yeah, man. Yeah, very talented player, man. It took him a while though, man, to get there, man. It took him a while. He was very talented coming out of Penn State, man. He was very talented. They were listen. They were that boy Barkley is a dangerous dude, man. Barkley is a dangerous guy, man. You say he got an old line? Okay. He ain't been hurt either. Barkley didn't get hurt either. I don't know if it's with those big old thighs. I don't know how he kept getting hurt, man. It seemed like he was hurt every game, man. Those big old thighs, man. The big old quads. That boy is that boy is something else, man. He is something else. Barkley, boy. I thought he was gonna be like this from day one. I thought he was gonna be the next Barry Sanders. I thought he was gonna be the next Barry Sanders. He was the closest thing to Barry Sanders coming out of college that I had seen. He was the closest thing. And it just never happened in New York, man. I know New York is like, damn. We gave this fool to Philly for him to do this. Yeah, they a tough team, man. Philly a tough team. Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Man, Snoop done messed up, man. I don't feel sorry for Snoop. Snoop, this what you get for all that shit you talked about Trump all them years. This what you get, Snoop. They say they don't fuck with Snoop. It's not a Democrat thing. It's a moral thing. Has nothing to do with being a Democrat. Why they don't like Snoop for performing at the inauguration. It's nothing to do with Has nothing to do with Democrats, man. It's a moral thing. Snoop is amoral for performing at Donald Trump's um, inauguration because Trump is a racist. He doesn't realize how much he has tarnished his reputation within the very community that built him. That's the very definition of selling out. Tupac was right about Snoop. He got a lot of nerve. It's like watching a childhood hero die. He's canceled, period. Snoop is a class A sellout. I see why Harriet Tubman left some of y'all behind. We got a new president. A new president is a whole new world full of limitless opportunities, and the country's charting a new course. And niggers are sitting around talking about they canceling people for performing at the inauguration. Blacks are the children of the world. Press one. Blacks are the children of the world. We're the children of the world stage. Niggas not even thinking about what's next and where do we go from here as a country. Niggas just thinking about, man, you canceled the deed. And listen, I don't feel sorry for Snoop. Fuck Snoop. But it's just these niggas are crazy, man. And these are educated niggas on these little Twitter pages and shit. And these are like HBCU blacks. The hood blacks don't got time for this shit. The niggas in the hood ain't on here in these comment sections. These is like the sophisticated blacks. Donald Trump officially signs an executive order to require federal workers to return to full-time in-person work. Oh yeah, niggas don't like that. Blacks upset about that. He said employees are less productive at the office than at home. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. When you at home, man, you more likely to fucking jack off or sleep or just find something else to do but work. When you at work, you kind of like got to do something because you there. When you at home, man, you ain't doing shit, man. What the hell this person talking about? This one says it's going to cost millions to get office space. It's not the same price it was before COVID. These niggas is upset they got to go back to work. This is who y'all voted for. Now y'all can't work from home. I'm here for entertainment purposes, only for the next 4 years. Was there an executive order lowering the price of groceries? Now he got lower groceries the first day. He got lower groceries the first day. And if he did that, they would still be complaining. This sucks. Why go to the office when you can't get the job done from home? Y'all not getting the job done. They know they looking at the production. Y'all not getting the job. Working from home does not make you more productive. It makes you less productive. Shout out to Trump, man. Trump got these niggas scared. Lizzo got something to say, y'all. Everybody listen up. Lizzo, man.
For anyone who might be feeling scared or disappointed or sad. Now,
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut your fat ass up. Shut your fat ass up. He won the fucking election 2 months ago, you fat bitch. He won the election 2 months ago, you fat bitch.
now is the time to build community. Now is the time to convert
Build community. What community y'all building? So now is the time to build community. The last 4 years, all y'all been doing is burning shit down and fucking promoting debaucherous degeneracy. Being happy, y'all was happy as pigs and slop the last 4 years with your trans crime bullshit, immigration bullshit. Now that Trump's in office, it's time to build community. Why y'all ain't build community the last 4 years? Y'all been in power 12 of the last 16 years. Why y'all ain't build community then? Fat bitch.
your fear or your anger or your disappointment or your anxiety into constructive activism, community building, and movement.
What does any of this shit she's saying mean? What do these words mean? I would love to see when she types in, when her brain is churning and she's looking for a word, and then the word community or movement pops up. I wonder what she's thinking about to make that word. Like, what is she? These words appear to have no meaning to these people. Community. What the fuck community are you talking about? Where people who look like you live, it's a fucking urban jungle. It's literally a jungle where people who look like you live. That's why you don't live around them. That's why you live around white people. Okay? All your gay friends are shady and backstabbing and conniving and be spreading gossip and telling people business and starting shit and fighting. And you talking about some goddamn community with them people and black people and goddamn Mexicans and shit. And Mexicans don't even like black people or your people or gay people. Your little goddamn allies is all, none of your allies like each other. Brown people, Indians. Indians can't stand niggas. Mexicans can't stand niggas. Muslims can't stand niggas. Muslims can't stand American gay people. Pakistanis can't stand Indians. They talking about BIPOC, black, brown, fucking gay, and all these shit. None of those groups like each other. Trans people don't give a damn about gay people. Only people trans people give about is trans people.
Please do not allow the ways of the world to change your world. Remember the value of having a pure heart and being a good person and moving.
Oh, so y'all the good people. So y'all are the ones. Shout out to Andy Armour. So y'all are the good people, man. Shout out to Paul Michaels. Shannon interviewed black man about the white woman. Yeah, that's a conversation that needs to be had, man. They all acting like they're all morally superior. They're so disgusting. They'll be acting like they're better than us and shit, like they're morally superior.
Moving from love. There are ways to take action every single day to make this world a better place. And some
No, to thwart the president, to put a monkey wrench in this country's plans moving forward. That's what you're talking about. Taking action. Talking about being a pain in the ass for the next 4 years. There are ways to take action. No, you mean there's ways to be a pain in the ass, a big fucking dumbass low IQ baby over the next 4 years. Press one.
sometimes just having a good day can be a radical act. And remember, within your community, we're all in this together. Remember, as we're holding each other and ourselves to a high standard, remember.
Oh, so black gay women. So I think she represents. She represents gay, black, and women. They're holding themselves to a high standard, y'all. Hey, everybody. Gay black women are holding, or black people, whoever community she representing now, she representing different communities at different times. Intersectionality. But the communities she represents are holding themselves to a high standard, you know? Because you know that's what they do, man. They gotta hold themselves to a high standard, man.
Not to cast judgment or be so caught up in the discourse you forget that we're all on the same team. Be patient with others as you'd be patient with yourself, and patient with your family members and loved ones, or patient with your fave. And give yourself and this world grace as it continues to shift and shape into things that we never thought we'd see.
What do you mean things you never thought you'd see? What about us and the way y'all have fucked the world up over the last 12 fucking years? And the shit we never thought we'd see. What about us? What about the shit we never thought we'd see? From you fuckers. Men and women's bathrooms and shit. A million people flooding over the fucking border every month. Crime out of control. Oh yeah, we've been seeing that out the black community. we've been seeing crime out of the black community, but most all that other shit we never thought we'd see. Even though the black community did set records for crime during your fucking while y'all were in office, but still, you know, whatever.
Check in with yourself every day. Am I moving from a place of love? Have I helped someone today? Have I helped myself today?
Y'all, that's so fucking pompous and pretentious. These people fucking suck. Yo, these fucking liberals, especially these ones, the black, female, gay ones, they fucking suck. They're fucking awful. These people suck. These people fucking suck. They're god awful. Shout out to Doug Chunks, man. Becoming a member for 23 months. Salute to Douglas Chunks. We're gonna do another members only this week, man. Before the week over, we're gonna do members only, man. Y'all, hey, get your memberships renewed, guys. We're gonna do a membership only before this week over. I'm not gonna do it today because I don't want to just pop it on people because people get mad when I just switch to members only in the middle of the show. But we doing a members only this week. Make sure y'all get your memberships. Shout out to Douglas Chunks, man. Make sure y'all renew y'all memberships. Make sure y'all hold on to them. They were free. All you got to do is renew it. They're gonna YouTube's gonna ask you, hey, do you want to renew your membership? Or your membership's coming up for renewal in 2 days or some shit like that. They're gonna ask you, renew your membership. We're doing a members only stream before the week's over. Shout out to Douglas Chunks. Douglas Chunkster. He's doing the damn thing, supporting the channel, keeping Knock Nation rolling. Check out this bitch. Check out how awful this bitch is. This bitch is awful. She's so fucking awful.
I believe in the goodness in this world. I believe in the goodness in you, as I believe in the goodness in myself. I believe that we're all here breathing together, just trying to get through this together. And I try very hard not to forget that every single day. Be kind to yourself today. Take some time, take some space, do whatever you need because you deserve it. I just want to send a message out there for anyone who might be feeling scared or disappointed or sad. Now is the time to build community. Now is the time to convert your fear or your anger or your disappointment or your anxiety into constructive activism, community building, and movement. Please do not allow the ways of the world to change your world. Remember the value of having a pure heart and being a good person and moving from love. There are ways to take action every single day to make this world a better place. And sometimes just having a good day can be a radical act. And remember, within your community, we're all in this together. Remember, as we're holding each other and ourselves to a high standard, remember not to cast judgment or be so caught up in the discourse you forget that we're all on the same team. Be patient with others as you'd be patient with yourself and patient with your family members and loved ones.
Man, fuck you, you pompous bitch. You pompous, pretentious bitch. Fuck you think you talking to? We voted for him. We voted for him, you pompous bitch.
They're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people, six commutations.
Were there any cases you did not need for party people?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look, and maybe it'll stay that way, or it'll go to full pardon.
And the order does require the Bureau of Prisons to act immediately on receipt of the pardons and
Right.
commutation orders.
Anything you want to explain?
Unapologetic. They want him to be apologizing about this shit.
Sir, the next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately.
Yeah, COVID been over for fucking 4 years, man. COVID never really happened. If a felon can become president, why keep it on job applications? Just saying. You can't even, niggas are so stupid, you can't even answer.
What age did you start? Well, yes, my mom's home.
You can't even answer nigger questions, man. You can't even answer. Niggas are so dumb. Answering their questions makes you dumb. Press 1. Niggas are so dumb. Answering a nigga's question makes you dumb. It's literally sad, man. You gotta ignore niggas, man, because niggas is that dumb. Oh, Ohio State won. Ohio State won the national championship. Wow. They the better team, man. Notre Dame, man. The first black coach to win the national championship, even though he mixed. Even though he mixed. These people suck, man. God, these people are awful, man. Robert Griffin, man, the race baiter himself, RG3. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Yeah, man, salute to you, man. I'm jealous of you, man. You got a white woman, and you get to still, you got the best of both worlds. You get to be the blackity black, fist in the air nigga that's always complaining about white people, and you got a white wife. You on your second white wife. You pimping the game, dog. I'm stuck with a black woman, and I'm called the coon, man. They call me a sellout to Uncle Tom, and I'm sitting there living with a black woman. You got you a white woman, you happy, you ain't gotta argue every day, and you get to be the blackity blackest fist in the air nigga that ever lived. I'm jealous, man. I'm real jealous, man. This one says, sad thing is, Trump's America, mixed races may no longer be allowed depending on what state you're in. I'm going to read this again that this dumbass nigga just said in the fucking chat. And sad thing is, in Trump's America, mixed races may no longer be allowed depending on what state you're in. So they make up insane bullshit lies and scare each other. They're taking turns trying to scare each other into being. All they doing is scaring each other. He gonna do this, y'all. He's gonna take our rights. Well, shouldn't you be happy? Because white people suck. White people are awful, right? So why are you upset that Trump is allegedly gonna make mixed race marriage illegal, man, in some states? The fact that mixed race children are the most beautiful kids is God's joke on racists. You live in a world now absorbed by yourself that you're rich. When you were growing up, you said your dad talked to you about segregation and mistreatment. You are grown enough to see the segregation and mistreatment is still going on with black people. You're so far gone. All this brother did was post his beautiful biracial family and a tribute to Martin Luther King. And these motherfuckers is talking about
What is this one?
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir.
Ooh, that's a big one. So we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China with 1.4 billion people. We have 350 to pay. We have, nobody knows what we have because so many people can't even believe it. But let's say we have 325. They had 1.4 billion. They were paying 39 million. We were paying 500 million. It seemed a little unfair to me. So that wasn't the reason, but I dropped out. They offered me to come back for 39 million. In theory, it should be less than that, but you know. And when Biden came back, they came back for 500 million. He knew that you could have come back for 39 million. They wanted us back so badly. So we'll see what happens.
Mr. President,
Pretty sad to think of it. China pays 39 million and we pay 500 million. And China's a bigger country.
Mr. President, you spoke about inflation today in your remarks. What actions are you taking today that will have a direct impact for Americans on their everyday?
Bitch, shut the fuck up, you smart ass bitch. Trying to act like he can't do, like everything he do. Like he can't do this, like because he's doing this the first hour he's president, he's not gonna fucking do anything about the economy. You fucking slick talking bitch. Listen to this slick talking bitch. That's why I'm glad I spent those godforsaken years in the fucking hood around niggers. I could pick up on slick talk like this. This godforsaken bitch right here.
In your remarks, what actions are you?
That is a bigger country.
Mr. President, you spoke about inflation today in your remarks. What actions are you taking today that will have a direct impact for Americans on their everyday costs to bring the cost down?
The biggest thing and factor for inflation is energy. They screwed up my energy policy, and then they went back to it. You know, they hurt it really badly, and then they went back to it, and they started drilling more. But by that time, it was too late. Many of these things that we're signing, and that Doug Burgum is going to be signing, and Chris Wright, who's phenomenal, you know, Energy Department of Energy. We're going to be taking a lot. We're going to make a lot of money from energy. We have more than anybody else. We're going to make a lot of money from energy. We're going to make a lot of money from tariffs. You know, European Union charges us. They have a VAT tax of 20%, but it's really much higher than that. And that's the equivalent, almost the equivalent of a tariff. And they're tough. They're very tough. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm product. They don't take almost anything. And yet we take their cars and we take their farm product. We take a lot from them. So, you know, we have like a $300 billion deficit with the European Union. So we'll straighten that out with either tariffs or they have to buy our oil. The one thing they can do, oil and gas, the one thing they can do to catch up quickly, buy our oil and gas.
Will you travel?
And they should do that.
Will you travel to China this year?
Yeah, it could be. You know, I've had the invite.
President Xi invited
I would
you
do,
to
yeah.
come this year.
Talking about the European Union and the tariffs, like, what do you mean when you say that European Union country is part of BRICS?
Then a what?
BRICS. You said
Oh, BRICS. No, I was talking about BRICS. BRICS is 6 nations. I think it's 7 nations. And they were looking to do a number in the United States. And if they do that, they won't be happy about what's going to happen to them.
Are you still considering a universal tariff, Mr. President, on all countries?
I may, yeah, but we're not ready for that yet.
Yeah, man, presidential shit, man. Donald Trump says transgender athletes will not be allowed to participate in women's sports. Okay, great. So they have a problem with this. I bet they have a problem with this. This makes him an evil man. Excluding transgender athletes from women's sports is discriminatory and unfair. It goes against the principles of inclusion and overlooks the fairness of allowing everyone to compete. It's literally the opposite. Think about how crazy these people are. It's literally the opposite. Transgender women often undergo hormone therapy, reducing any physical advantage. What the fuck is wrong with you people? I truly don't see any issue with it. Trans women are women. They should be allowed to compete. And here's the thing. None of these women in any of these women's sports leagues voted for Trump. He's literally saving their sports league. Could you imagine the WNBA if men were allowed to play in the WNBA? All the good players in the WNBA would be men. All of them. None of these women who he's saving voted for him. And no one's talking about that enough. He's doing stuff for people that hate him. All of these women, these woke white women that in these sports leagues, these sisters, they all fucking hate Trump. Look at that eagle, that symbol of America. Look at this fucking guy, man. This is our damn senator, man. This is our goddamn senator, man. This is our senator here in fucking Pennsylvania. Look at this fucking piece of shit loser. He a hoodie and shorts. He came to the inauguration in a hoodie and shorts. That's the Democrat Party right here. This is the Democrat Party. So now they're saying Trump did a Nazi salute, man. So Trump did the Nazi salute, right? Oh. Oh.
Thank you. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what you're offended about? You fucking loser. You fucking loser. Who cares about your offenses, you loser? You don't care what you're offended about. The Gulf of and look at her, she never been president. She laughing at Trump, but she never been president.
Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
She's such an evil woman. She's such an evil, hateful, jealous, envious, demonic woman. She has so much blood on her hands, and she's fucking laughing and shit. Evil woman.
Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name. Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Salute to Paul Michaels. He said Shannon Sharp, talk to the Jenkins family. Spencer Vaughn in the building. Shout out to all you guys. Fuck these people. Everybody who's new here, subscribe, man. We trying to get the 45,200 subscribers, man. We a little ways off. Everybody who's in the building, subscribe if you haven't, man. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you for your help. Well, let me earn your subscription. How about that? We trying to earn your subscription, man. We trying to earn your subscription. We need 11 subscriptions to get to 45,200. Yeah, man. Why is this? I don't understand why they're upset about this. This is the Gulf of America. Look at that shit, man. It's touching Florida, Texas, and we're stronger than them. We're stronger than Mexico, man. We're stronger than you, Mexico. Big bank take little bank. The U.S. is the only. Could you imagine if Arabs had as much power as Americans? Y'all lucky. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, the world is lucky that Arabs are not sitting in the position that Americans sits in. If Arabs sat in the position that America sits in, all of you all would be slaves. Press 1. Everybody in the world would be a slave if Arabs had as much power. If they had our army, our military, our infrastructure. Everyone in the world would be fucking slaves. And you all would be worshiping Allah. All of you. Whether you liked it or not. All of you. The whole fucking world will be Muslim. Every fucking inch of it. Pause. Big bank take little bank, motherfucker. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. MLK wasn't a Christian. He denied the virgin birth. He denied the Trinity. He denied the divinity of Jesus. He denied the resurrection, plagiarized, was a serial adulterer, laughed at women getting raped, committed adultery the night before he died, and was a communist. Yeah, Martin Luther King was a fucking... Listen, men are complicated, right? Men are complicated. But Martin Luther King did a lot of bad things. And they're all going to come out when those tapes are declassified. When those FBI J. Edgar Hoover tapes are declassified, he did a lot of bad things. Martin Luther King was not a good person. But men are complicated. And you can't deny that he was a great man.
Yo, I am going to the presidential inaugural ball, the Liberty Ball. Yo. Yo.
That is 1,000% a Nazi salute being given behind the presidential podium on Inauguration Day. Also MLK Day by the richest person on the planet. That moment will live in infamy. Who gives a fuck? Fuck what you think. Why is Dr. Martin Luther King's daughter...
For joining us for tonight's coin toss. On the day in which the country annually pays tribute to the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., please welcome the youngest daughter of Dr. Martin and Mrs. Coretta Scott King.
That's why you fucked it up. You don't even know you don't even know fucking his wife's name, because he cheated on her so much he couldn't even remember his wife's name. Yeah, man. Why don't y'all, all you niggas, just change? If you really love Martin Luther King, go change the fucking batteries on your smoke detector, nigga. I bet you if Dr. Martin Luther King came back to life and was just a big ass fucking hologram sitting in the sky, and he was like, look, black people, I have one thing to ask for you. Black people, I've been gone for a while, and I've been to the mountaintop. And God told me he wants one thing from you niggas. And that's to change the goddamn batteries in your smoke detector. I bet you 98% of niggas still wouldn't do it. Press 1. 98% of niggas still wouldn't change the battery in their smoke detector. Think about it. You got all these niggas running around being all pretentious, talking about how terrible the world is, how terrible black people who support Trump are, how terrible, how scared they are about the future. All these black people talking about how scared they are about the next 4 years, and how they got to take all these steps to make sure that they're safe in Trump's America. If you're fucking so scared for your safety, right, nigga, change the fucking batteries in your smoke detectors. Start there. You niggas. You niggas are so annoying. Golly, man, y'all are annoying, man. Jeez, y'all the most annoying people on the face of the earth, man. Nobody's more annoying than y'all.
Yes! This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was
niggas gonna want a government voucher on the batteries to change it. If y'all wanted to change the battery, not more detector, y'all can't give us a voucher. All right, nigga, here's a voucher for fucking $5. Now go to CVS and get a fucking battery.
This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. This you know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one.
So Trump repealed transgenders in the military.
Not a day goes by that I'm not grateful to be serving at this period of time. Being able to undergo a full gender transition beyond hormones, laser hair removal, Botox, lip injections, hair lowering, like literally cannot be more thankful to be alive now.
We're paying for this shit. We were paying for this shit. These fuckers were going into the military just to get fucking sex changes and shit. And listen, I hope Trump changes it to where we don't have to call that shit gender affirming care. Make a fucking executive order saying we don't have to call that shit gender affirming care. This shit is not gender affirming care. This motherfucker's getting a sex change operation. Gender affirming care. Gender affirming care, my ass. Pause. Get rid of these motherfuckers. Kick all these motherfuckers out of the country. Oh, God. Steve Kerr. He's whining about Trump at this press conference.
I don't know. I didn't watch the inauguration. I chose to watch Celtics tape.
But in light of that, I mean, just a thought of what this game means.
I always love playing on MLK Day. It's a very significant day for all Americans, and I think the NBA has really kind of adopted it as part of our culture, and I'm very proud of that. And, yeah, very meaningful day for everyone, for sure.
Fuck you, punk. Nobody cares what you guys think anymore. These people suck, man. God, they're so pompous, man. These people are so fucking pompous, man. They're horrible. These people are these liberals are horrible. Shout out to Barry B, man. Shout out to Mark Ishmael, man. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. These people suck. Salute, guys. My power went out, man. We had a bad snowstorm over here, man. My power went out, man. Oh, it's back on. Okay, my power went out. Yo, that's one thing that's crazy, man. When your power goes out, your internet goes out. When your power goes out, your internet goes out. I need to buy a generator, man. I'm up here in Pennsylvania, man, where it snows, man. When it's up here in Pennsylvania, it snows, man. It's salute to everybody out there, man. Thank you for waiting patiently, man. So this is the new thing they're doing to the rappers. This is the new message to the rappers that participated in Trump's inauguration. Shout out to Beto Menendez, man. Mendez, Beto Mendez, man. I was about to ask, was you one of the Menendez brothers? Is you the one that got away, man? This the Menendez brother that got away. He trying to change his name. He think he's slick. He caught you, motherfucker. Fucked up what you did to your parents, man. Niggas are children, man. They're children. Niggas ain't got no shame. This is now y'all want to talk about gangster rap and shit. Now y'all want to condemn gangster rap. All it took is for the gangster rappers to support Trump, and now niggas want to condemn gangster rap. Yo, you can't make it's literally like I'm glad that a lot of white people and a lot of Americans started seeing that black people are a joke. Black people are a joke, man. Black people are a joke. Okay? Black people are a fucking joke. Now y'all want to be mad at gangster rap and shit. Oh shit. Now Barron Trump is Hitler, man. Baby Hitler. Barron Trump is baby Hitler, y'all. Barron Trump is baby Hitler. Salute to Gouch Merlot, man. Salute Ock. Here's a down payment for a new fire detector battery. Yeah, thank you for smoke detector, man. Even though I replaced my shit go off all the time when I'm cooking, man. When I'm cooking, my shit go off, man. So I know my shit work. The whole neighborhood know when I'm cooking. Barron Trump is baby Hitler. So now they starting to come after Barron, man. Now, yeah, they coming after him now. Mark Zuckerberg, man. Wow. This is the shit they on hand. This is the shit they on. Well, it does make sense, man, that niggas is worried about gang signs and shit. If you know anything about Dr. King, man, if you know anything about the real Dr. King, this picture is not that far off. Press 1. This picture, they think they're like clowning Dr. King in this picture. This picture is very accurate. If Dr. King was here today, if Dr. King was here today, if Dr. King was here today, this picture is very accurate, man. Oh, okay. So now, since Trump quoted Dr. King, man, Trump quoted Dr. King. Now his daughter mad now. His fucking daughter, man, fuck this woman, man. Fuck her, man. Where the fuck she been at? What the fuck she ever did but be Dr. King's daughter? Fuck this woman, man. She in favor of all that Democrat shit. She in favor of crime and immigration and trans bullshit. Fuck her. She acting holier than thou. This woman acting holier than thou, and she with all the Democrat bullshit. I don't respect you. I don't give a fuck I don't give a fuck that you're Dr. King's daughter. I don't give a fuck. You're for a bunch of debaucherous, degenerate, ungodly shit. And now she whining because Trump quoted Dr. King. Think about this, man. If he wouldn't have quoted Dr. King, right? If Trump wouldn't have quoted Dr. King on his on his day, they would have been like, damn, he didn't even honor Dr. King on his birthday. He does quote Dr. King, and his daughter comes out and says this: to every politician, the next time you quote my father, let it be in support of voting rights, civil rights, or human rights, or in support of eradicating racism, poverty, and war, or in support of reparations, a livable wage, or ending police brutality. This bitch talking about police brutality. Shit that don't exist.
Hallelujah. I want to take a moment of silence for Cornelius Taylor, who was tragically killed right across the street by a bulldozer driven by an Atlanta Department of Works employee while he was.
She taking this moment to talk about some nigga that got ran over by a bulldozer. She taking this moment to talk, this day, this moment, her dad's fucking birthday, to talk about some nigga that got ran over by a bulldozer.
While he was clearing an encampment of our unsheltered brothers and sisters. Can we take that moment now?
How many of our unsheltered brothers and sisters you gonna take in? I bet you got a big old house, Miss Dr. King's daughter. You gonna take in any of these unsheltered people in your fucking den or your guest room? I thought not.
Now. Amen.
Find your place. She lost her place. She reading from a paper. She lost her place. She trying to find it.
Today marks 40 years since the inception of the national holiday, and this is only the third time it has coincided with the presidential inauguration.
And if Trump hadn't honored my father, I would be bitching about that. And since he did honor my father, I'm also bitching about that.
However, this time it has become a major factor for so many people because of the notable contrast in the two men who are sharing the same space in today's news.
No, there's no notable contrast. Trump was a international playboy, fucking models and shit for 40 years, and your father fucked everything that moved in the South during his heyday. Your father fucked everything that moved. The FBI was following him. They got him on all the tapes. He fucked everything that moved. If you drilled a hole in the wall, you come in the room and your dad be fucking humping the wall. What are you talking about, woman? Your dad fucked everything that moved. He loved white prostitutes. White and mulatto prostitutes. But he all that was his preference, white and mulatto prostitutes. They have all this documented. They were following him around. They tapped all his phones. They were doing surveillance on him 24/7. He was a problem. They were doing surveillance on him 24/7, 365. All he did was fuck white and mulatto prostitutes. And when he couldn't get them, he'd fuck regular sisters and shit that they stayed with in the South because they couldn't stay in hotels. They couldn't stay in hotels because of segregation. So they when they was traveling in the South, so black people would take them into their homes and they would have orgies and shit. Your dad is no different than Donald. Actually, he's worse. Because at least Donald Trump got married, and paid child support to his outside children. We don't know how many outside children your dad got.
Today's news cycle and on today's Gregorian calendar. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Hallelujah. I want to take a moment of silence for some, today's inauguration represents the best of times. Make America great again. And
yeah, when your dad was killed in 1968, don't you think the country's a lot better than it was then? Or no? Okay, so no, you don't think the country's better than it was when your dad was killed. Think about this, white people. I want you to listen to this. White people. Every white person press 1. All my white people press 1. And make sure you support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. Support the channel. Subscribe too. All my white people press 1, man. Where all my white people at, man? I need y'all to press 1. Dr. Martin Luther King's daughter is claiming that it's no better today than it was in 1968 when her dad was killed. White people, stop doing shit for these niggas. Find y'all a new pet project, man. Ain't it some animal going extinct somewhere? Or some fucking butterfly going extinct somewhere? Can't y'all find a new cause? Fuck these niggas, man. This woman is saying that it's no better today than it was in 1968.
And for others, it highlights the worst of times. Set America back again. For some, today's King holiday represents a day to champion freedom, justice, and democracy. For others, it's a day to decry DEI, disavow a legacy of peace, love, and justice, and distort the meaning of King's words.
What legacy of peace, love, and justice? What legacy of peace, love, and justice is she talking about? Yo, do you know? I bet a lot of y'all don't know this, man. Did you know that Martin Luther King's mother was shot and killed shortly after he was shot and killed? Press 1 if you knew that.
The King legacy is one the world is very familiar with. As 11 Alive celebrates Women's History Month, we want to highlight an important person in that legacy. You know, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Tonight, 11 Alive's Naima Abdullahi brings us the story of the woman who raised him and pushed him toward a lifelong commitment to serve others.
She was the First Lady of Ebenezer Baptist Church and the First Lady of her community. Alberta Williams King is a name deeply woven in the fabric of what makes Atlanta, Atlanta.
Let's get to the crux of it.
The civil rights movement got overshadowed.
There's a new shift in the paradigm of
6 years after the murder of her son, June 30th, 1974, Alberta Williams King was shot while she played the organ during a Sunday service inside her safe haven. The man responsible was later arrested.
She was playing.
Who you think shot Dr. King's mother at the church?
The King family legacy is one that changed the course of history for Black people in America. It extends well beyond Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s untimely passing in 1968. It is a legacy that is marked at Dayton Roth High School told Jet magazine. He just went from homeroom to class. I never had any trouble with him. He was as good as gold. In 1969, Marcus was accepted into Ohio State University, and it was during his college matriculation that his demeanor began to change. Although he was still described as quiet and studious by his professors and peers, it was during this time that he began to reassess his traditional Christian values. Leon Vaughn, one of Chenault's Ohio State classmates, told Jet magazine, Marcus was a really beautiful cat. He interpreted things people should know about scripture in a magazine. Israel began in
This the nigga that killed Dr. Martin Luther King's mother, man.
as a group of people who gathered for the spectacle that Chenault came out with his hands up saying things like no comment, putting his hands on the car to be searched, even sources, including certain aspects of Christianity and Judaism, and have shot a deacon, Edward Boykin, and a church normally reserved for the most devout worshipers. Mrs. King, Ebenezer Baptist Church.
He became a Black Israelite. A Black Israelite shot Martin Luther King's mother in her church during the service. And these motherfuckers talking about peace and shit.
Kaish also shared with Jet magazine that Chenault told him that he would soon be all over the newspapers and that he was going to Atlanta to meet destiny. On Friday, June 28, 1974, Marcus Wayne Chenault returned home for what seemed to be a routine visit. According to Marcus Sr., Wayne seemed as normal as ever. That night, Marcus stole 2 pistols from his father's bedroom. The next day, he bought a bus ticket to Atlanta, Georgia. After a 12-hour trip, Wayne had made it to his destination, where, according to a taxicab driver's testimony, he was picked up from the bus station and asked to be taken to Ebenezer Baptist Church. On the way, he asked the driver if Mr. and Mrs. King attended the church every Sunday. Later that morning, after being picked up from a motel, Marcus was taken back to the church. He was invited to attend men's Bible study. Marcus introduced himself and said he was from Ohio. According to witness testimony, once the service began, he was seen sitting in the Amen corner of the pews, which is normally reserved for the most devout worshipers. Mrs. King finished playing the Lord's Prayer on the organ, and as the congregation bowed their heads in prayer, they heard Marcus shout, "I'm taking over here this morning." They looked up to find him standing on the pew holding a gun. His first shot struck Mrs. King in the head, and she fell over the organ. It seemed like I was watching a scene from a bad movie play out, Christine King Ferris, Alberta's daughter, would recall in her 2009 memoir, through it all. Marcus fired every round in his gun. He stood over Mrs. King and shot her again. He shot a deacon, Edward Boykin, and a church member, Jimmy Mitchell. Mrs. King's grandson, Derek, who said he helped to subdue the gunman as he tried to reload a pistol, told The Guardian. He was delirious. He said over and over, "The war did this to me. It's the war." As Marcus fled, the sanctuary was in chaos. Christine described, "There were people everywhere. There was a throng of onlookers. When I looked in their eyes, I saw what is often described as the 1,000-yard stare. It was a kind of blankness."
Yeah, Dr. Martin Luther King's mother was shot by some nigger in her church 6 years after he died. You didn't know that, did you? Y'all didn't know that. And he got stabbed by a black woman. This black woman stabbed him. Izola Curry.
For many people, if they listed words that they associated with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the word sacrifice would be one of those words. As a civil rights leader, some would say that he made the ultimate sacrifice on April 4th, 1968, when he was assassinated. According to his friends who knew him in seminary school, he sacrificed the love of his life to be the man his family wanted him to be and the man that the civil rights movement needed. But if he'd had his own choice to make his own decisions and be his own man, his lady, most likely, would have been a white one. This one, Betty Mowatz. Let's get into it. But first, if you like these videos about the most scandalous people from yesteryear who make Ty's Hot Mess History a time capsule for the culture, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can know every time that I upload one of these videos or every time that I live stream, and comment "I subscribed" in the comments section so that I can say hello to you. Now, on to why you are here. During the 1960s, Dr. Martin Luther King was already well known for what most people remember him as being, a leader in the civil rights movement. And often, when we know a person to be something, we can have a tendency to think that that's what he or she always was. Well, obviously, Dr. King wasn't born wearing a three-piece suit and giving emotionally stirring speeches. At one point, he was a child. Then he was a young man before he became the civil rights icon we know of today. And it was in his young man phase that he did what many of us did when we were young adults. Tested boundaries. Many of us, when in our late teens and early 20s, were in college, and for the first time, away from the watchful eyes of our parents every day. And with that distance comes the freedom to find ourselves and to be ourselves. And that's just what Martin Luther King was doing when he was a seminary student attending Crozer Theological Seminary. And let his friends tell it, a big part of who he found himself to be was centered in a romance with Betty Mowatz, a young white woman who was an art student and cafeteria worker. Their love affair started in 1949, and even though Martin's school wasn't in his native Atlanta or anywhere else in the South, where racial segregation was more apparent than in northern parts of the country, his friends warned him to end his relationship with Betty. Chester, Pennsylvania, was not extremely.
His handlers made him lead this white girl and marry Coretta. They made him lead that white girl and marry Coretta. And then this black woman stabbed him. This black woman right here stabbed his
Great
ass.
leaders in this country often face it to come. Through the stress and ups and downs, Isola faced work, even taking trips back to Georgia to regroup before trying her luck in New York again. The King Jr. had made a trip to Harlem, New York for his book signing, for his book titled Stride Toward Freedom. The stop marked one of many during the tour to promote the book and took place at Bloomstein's department store. On the fateful day of the attack, Curry approached much like any other fan did that day, appearing as though she may have been getting an autograph. Now, according to the most accurate story from a collection of accounts, Curry asked King Jr. if he were indeed Martin Luther King Jr. Upon hearing yes, the 42-year-old would plunge a 7-inch letter opener into the chest of the activist, much to the horror of bystanders. Following the attack, police were quick to the scene, detaining Curry before beginning a series of questioning, uncovering.
This woman stabbed Martin Luther King in the heart. He almost died. Shout out to 45 Revolver, man. Coming a member, man. Shout out to D from Boston. He said the FBI had MLK under surveillance because him and his circle were communist. Facts. A bunch of fucking communists. Nigga, they made nigga was in love with a white girl. They made America Retta Scott King. Some black woman stabbed him in his chest. Some black dude killed his mother in the church pew, stood over her and emptied the clip in her face in front of the whole fucking church. And these niggas is talking about fucking, and she talking about fucking Donald Trump. And this woman here is talking about fucking Donald Trump.
Cornelius Taylor, who was tragically killed right across the street by a bulldozer driven by an Atlanta Department of Works employee while he was clearing an encampment of our unsheltered brothers and sisters. Can we take that moment now?
Shut the fuck up.
Amen. Today marks 40 years since the inception of the national holiday, and this is only the third time it has coincided with the presidential inauguration. However, this time it has become a major factor for so many people because of the notable contrast in the two men who are sharing the same space in today's news cycle and on today's Gregorian calendar. Let the Redeemer. The people were afraid and complained about the obstacles and the enemies. As a result, the very thing they feared came upon them, and that generation never reached the promised land. My father and those that aligned with his leadership were faced with impossible circumstances. They dealt with recalcitrant and defiant leaders. They lacked political representation. They didn't have laws or policies in place to buttress them. Yet they didn't recoil or retreat. In spite of Bull Connor and his dogs,
Bull Connor and his dogs. She talking about Bull Connor and his dogs. In fucking 2000 and fucking trying to compare Trump to Bull Connor and shit. She trying to compare Donald Trump to Bull Connor. Listen to who she trying to keep. Listen to who she trying to compare Trump to. Look, let me show you who she trying to compare Trump to. This is Bull Connor. I think he's the sheriff in some town in South Carolina. I mean, in Alabama. He's the sheriff down there, some segregation town.
You can never whip these birds if you don't keep you and them separate. You've got to keep the white and the black separate. Let the law enforcement agencies, that's what you've got them hired for. And the governor of the state of Alabama handle this thing. Now, George asked me to ask you to do that. Do him one favor. Tell your friends when you leave here between now and Tuesday, don't go up there. Leave it alone. They're going to handle this situation. Just leave it alone. You know, those Kennedys up there in Washington, that little old Bobby Sox and his brother, the president, they'd give anything in the world if we had some trouble here. If we don't have any trouble, we can beat them at your own game.
How is it that
they comparing Trump to that? These niggas are horrible people, man. That's why I say it wasn't that bad. It must not have been that bad back then, man. It must not have been that bad.
You need to slow down, Ak. You gonna have blacks' heads exploding.
Yeah, that's what they need. Yeah. Man, that's what they need. What's up?
I was desperate for you to do StreamYard link because I don't have that much time. I thought it was great. I mean, I only watched the bit essentially like after his speech, and then I had to finish work. But yeah, so some people need to decide what they're doing. If they literally need to decide if they're American in 2025 or not, and if they can go back to Africa. This is ridiculous.
Yep.
Like Lizzo, you need to check in every day. Just check in and
you breaking up. You in and out.
I just feel that if you listened to his speech and you didn't have a renewed sense of pride as an American, then there's no hope for you.
Word. But here's the thing: black people they hold everything back. Like look at Africa. Black people just hold they progress can't happen around them. They're natural like just cave people and shit. They try to keep everything in the Stone Age.
I just don't know what they want. He said whether you're black, white, male, female, thank you African Americans for voting for me. Thank you Hispanic American. Like he thanked everybody. He said it's MLK Day today. And then people are still saying there wasn't diversity. Oh, he didn't include us in his speech. What does he need to include? He included you. If he says thank you Americans, are you not an American? Do you have to be identified as African American?
But he did. He said thank you to the African American community.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. Like he emphasized who you are, included you, said Americans, we're the greatest, we're the best. This is our golden age. This is we are coming back. We are having a renaissance.
But when you're dealing with a child like mine, but they're children, like do you have children?
No.
But you know people who have children, right?
Yes, yeah, no, of course.
Like you around like a child, like you give one something, you got to give the other something. Like they're not black people like children. We operate on the world stages as little children.
But there comes a point where you have to. I'm not even someone who do like a timeout. Like you need to thump your child. You need to thump sense into them. There comes a point where you've given your 3 warnings and action needs to be taken. And for me, this is it. Like I'm sorry, so some people, you are already being left behind but you're going to have immigrants, everyone coming in, feeling more American than you feel and progressing. And in 4 years' time, 2030, you'll still be talking about, oh, we were descendants of slaves. So were people coming into the country. Now they have houses. They're not living in ghettos. They are fully progressive and immersed in American society. And you are still going to be as stuck as you were in the 70s. It's insanity.
Yep.
Well, watching Donald Trump's day today, I'm just struck by the fact that we have a president again. I mean, look at this guy's day. Free speeches, 196 executive actions, holds a 90-minute press conference narrating each one as he goes along. I mean, Joe Biden could not and would not offer the kind of transparency or vigor to the American people that we got here on day one from Trump. And tonight, Trump's going to throw on a tux and go to 3 balls. I mean, he's having an active day. I think it's going to be a massive amount of contrast here for a presidency like what we're going to see out of Trump and versus what we've had out of Biden. I was watching Trump today, and Van and I were talking earlier today, watching him walk down the hall of the Capitol, and the words that came to mind to me were gritty, resilient, determined, and audacious. There's not like a more perfect advertisement for the value of these qualities in modern America. I mean, you think about all the things that happened to him: winning, losing, the court cases, nearly being assassinated. It's rather audacious what he has accomplished, winning this election and taking office today. And you said you were in shock. Well, Republicans are in awe.
What about with the pardons? What's your take on that?
Here's what I think. Were these people punished? Yes. Were they ruined financially? Yes. Did they spend time in jail? Yes. Have their lives been ruined? Absolutely. And one of you said earlier, Van or Axe, that you think this sends a terrible signal that you can get away with things like this, as though we've never had a moment in recent American history when people were not punished for rampaging around when they shouldn't have been. It was the summer of 2020. And these people were actually punished. Those people were never even charged.
Hey, that's not true at all.
That's not true. Most charges were not.
Let him answer. But I do see it differently in that I don't like it when people tear up buildings at all. I'm not a part of some pro-riot, pro-crime lobby.
Yes, you are. Yes, he loved white women too.
Of course they do. I mean, I was looking at Ketanji, what's her name, Brown, and I was just looking at Don Lemon. I was just thinking, all these people how do their glider partners feel? Because there will have to come a point where you would, like, if I was a glider partner, I would start falling out of love with my partner if every time they are eviscerating my people in public, every time they go out, and then they come home and they're meant to be all lovey-dovey with me. I'm like, you hate me. You hate what I am at the core. Why am I with you?
Because white people hate themselves too, though.
Yeah.
White people have been taught to hate themselves, and they deserve it. To feel like they deserve it. You know what I mean? For something that allegedly their ancestors did. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like you're just getting your penance for what happened years ago, as if everybody wasn't doing everything. Yo, what was that? I might have saved it. Let me see, but let's see this shit.
God, we're asking you not only that. Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day for all of your children. Black men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile will be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank you, God Almighty. We are free at last. If you believe where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Come on, put your hands together and give.
Black people were so upset with this guy. Oh man, they've been roasting this guy online all day, calling him everything, a sellout. They're so mad at him, man.
I saw Timu MLK, which was quite funny.
Yeah. The
only thing is, I do give credit to him because that's, you know, for him, he's never going to have an opportunity like that ever. So why not go
Right. That's what they
overdo it?
That's why black people are so crazy. Like the president of the United States calls you to perform or do something for him, and niggas is like, man, you a sellout. Like, because it's not a Democrat. It's like, yo, the president of the United States asked me to speak at the inauguration, and you're a sellout, and he's a racist, but you're black. It's like it just black people are children. So this I saw this on Twitter today. This man right here is the brother of a mathematics professor, Abul Kalam Azad. Azad was a brilliant scholar who excelled throughout his academic life. He became the first in his class in MSc mathematics from Dhaka University, where he set a record-breaking score in applied mathematics and earned a gold medal. Azad further pursued higher education abroad, obtaining a diploma in fluid mechanics from the University of Manchester in the United Kingdom, and MSc in applied mathematics and masters, whatever that means, in applied mathematics and a PhD in mathematics. Upon his return, he began his career as a lecturer of mathematics at the Government College in November 1956. He taught in the mathematics department of government at Jagannath College. This is India, where he eventually became the department head, serving from 1968 to 1969. On September 10th of 1970, he was promoted to professor and subsequently joined the Institute for Advanced Science and Technology, teaching under Dhaka University, where he taught until his disappearance during the 1971 Liberation War. Azad's brilliance and dedication to education were posthumously honored in 2002 when he was awarded the Ekusei Padak, the second highest civilian award in Bangladesh. The tragedy unfolded when he was taken from his home on December 15, 1971. 5 days later, his body was found. His death was orchestrated by Al-Badr, a paramilitary group composed primarily of Bihari Muslims, supported by the Pakistan military, which targeted Bengali nationalists. Other forces like the Shanti Committee, the Razakars, and the Al-Shams were also involved in similar atrocities. The main objective of these groups was to eliminate leading Bengali intellectuals and professionals, to cripple the intellectual foundation of the emerging nation. Teachers, academics, doctors, engineers, journalists, and other prominent individuals were forcefully dragged from their homes, blindfolded, and executed. Their bodies were dumped in killing fields such as Rayer Bazaar, Mirpur, and other locations across Dhaka. Just days before the final victory of the Liberation War, Azad's death remains a symbol of the targeted brutality faced by intellectuals during this period. So the black people always try to say the past, stuff that happened in the past is why we can't move forward. They killed literally almost all of the educated, the mathematicians, the doctors, and the engineers in Bangladesh. The Pakistanis did. They just went in there and just kidnapped all the smart people and killed them all over the country. Thousands of doctors and lawyers and engineers. That's the type of war they were fighting. Could you imagine if something like that happened to black people in America? Nothing like that happened to black people in America.
Demons acting demonic, nothing new.
Yeah, but these people have a country now. They kept it pushing. They overcame that. Niggas is complaining about getting sprayed with tear gas and shit 80 years ago.
What I want for some people, because I will laugh at every Sun person that sings the national anthem or any kind of US patriotic song at sports games. Because what are you singing that song for? Because that song is representing that you're American, but you don't like the office of being American. It's an oxymoron for you to be at a football game or basketball game and there'll be a Sun person singing the national anthem. What are you singing it for?
Yeah. And
why are you standing up?
We're children. A lot of people just like when we do stuff, they act like it's serious, like, oh my God, because they're afraid in public. But inside they're like, oh God, let's let this child throw a temper tantrum so we can continue with the adult business. That's the stance people take towards us. Salute to Big Pete. Big Pete says, salute to the fearless leader of our nation and salute to Trump for being the warrior this country needs. MAGA. Salute, man. Go ahead.
Hey,
yeah, go ahead. What's up, man?
I just want to say, as of recently and stuff, my opinion on Trump slightly changed. Whatever, I used to be a really strong Trump advocate, but when he started saying, he want to invade, all these countries and stuff, I feel, I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of imperialist. I don't really agree with that. That just sounds like kind of warmongering a little bit. Like I agree with I agree with keeping the border in control and everything else he's saying about making the 2 gender laws and stuff. That's perfect. But everything else is like I don't know what you're doing. Like I'm
So
not.
do you know what a proxy war is? Do you know what a proxy war is?
You mean like fighting a war on behalf of somebody else? You mean right?
Like Ukraine.
Yeah,
like Syria, like everywhere where there's a war right now, like Gaza, Israel, we're funding one of the sides, so we're fighting proxy wars all
both
over.
sides.
Yeah, we're fighting proxy wars all over, man. Right now, there was no wars during Trump's first administration, and here's the thing, but here's the thing, fuck all that. If it was a war, if it's not a war, I support him. I hope he fucking kicks some ass. If he doesn't, he's not really going to have to kick a lot of ass because when he comes to office, everybody gets in line. All those war leaders that act up, watch Ukraine. That fucking Zelensky, whatever the fuck his name is, he's going to get in line.
Zelensky.
Zelensky, Xi in China, he's going to get in line. Every North Korea, he's going to get in line. Everybody gets in line when Trump comes in office because he has the stance. Yeah, they know he's not no bullshit. Mexico, they going to get in line. Everybody gets in line when Trump comes to office. You're not going to see wars like that. You're not going to have to fight wars.
I mean, you're right, but we'll see until like a year and a half from now. They say in like a year and a half, 2 years from now, China is going to invade Taiwan, and you see, me personally, my perspective is very different.
But you're going by under Biden. Yeah, all that talk and posturing was under Biden. With the
So you think Trump will not?
Hold on. With the thought that Trump was going to be in prison or dead, they had no idea. The way it was looking, China had every thought that Trump would be in prison or dead because of the way that he was being persecuted. But now with Trump in office, they have to readjust their plans on invading Taiwan because Trump's in office now.
No, I agree with that, but I think overall, I think that like right now, like how everybody thinks that when we look at America as being like the center of the world, like as far as like dominating and stuff, that's only going to be the case for maybe 20, 30 more years. The Chinese they running shit now,
Going by the way it was going with the Democrats. Yeah, under their rule. Yes, you're right. You're 100% correct. Under their authority, it was going to be like that. But they're out, and it looks like they've overplayed their hand, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like, now it's a new sheriff in town. So like you got to recalibrate all that stuff. I get what you're saying. Yeah, they were driving America into the ground. We were losing respect around the world stage, but they're not in power anymore. So everybody else you a hood dude. I know you've been some nigga, some badass killer nigga from the other neighborhood come home from jail. Oh shit, we can't ride through their hood and fuck with them no more.
No, I hear you, but I'm just saying, like I said, like I like Trump and everything. I'm keeping real. I ain't ready to go to war for nobody, right? I ain't trying to. So
Yeah, but Day, sorry to interrupt. I heard because your comments were specifically about Canada and Greenland. Like he's not going to invade Canada, and Greenland is literally it's a strategic island that Denmark cannot sustain currently. And he's literally saying, actually, for what China's doing closer to Russia, all sorts, it would be more beneficial for it to come under America, and we can make it a mini territory, move people there,
financial gains,
and actually develop it. So, like, it's not an invasion of Greenland.
Yeah, we'll hold it down for you. You can't hold that down. We'll hold it down for you.
But you
be
can't.
your big brother. We'll be your
But
big
you think
brother.
so? Like, but if they don't want to let it go though, you can't like bogart it and be like, oh no, we
yes, you
taking
can.
this.
No. Here's the thing. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. This whole notion that America got to be good all the time and we got to take the high road, we can be badasses a lot. And here's the thing. Like I said earlier, Day, if Arabs had the power, the military, the influence, the economy, the cachet that America has, if they had the weaponry, the technology, the military technology that America have, every person on this planet would be Muslim, and every person that wasn't fucking part of some fucking Arab house or some Arab fucking big family would be a fucking slave.
Or dead.
Or dead. Yeah, definitely.
And then the other thing, Dave, like the Panama Canal, do you not think it was such a stupid thing to give it away? Especially if I give something to Ak and then he doesn't manage it well and then gives it to you, would I not be pissed? I was like, the intention was for Ak. It wasn't for you to now have when I don't like you. I need to get it back to manage it properly. The Panama Canal is one of the most important.
That's valid, but that's valid. But I think that like how I think like this ain't gonna happen. But what I think how we should govern things is we should focus on like isolationism. We should only focus on the United States. I don't give a fuck about what's
doing. To focus on the US, he needs to reclaim what essentially you've lost to help develop. I mean, he spoke about manufacturing.
But Latin America ain't got nothing to do with us, though. It's not. That's them. We don't need to be like a bully of the world.
Most important things like Suez or whichever one is.
Yeah, it's the Panama.
Top three important.
He feels that way because in respect to him, he's saying that we built it, so we should own it. So I understand that, but I'm saying that. I'm saying we should focus on immigration. We should. What I do agree with him is we need to go to war with the cartel. That's what I agree with.
But if the Panama Canal was given at that point, obviously he disagrees, in good grace and good faith to Panama, and they have essentially through the back door given it to China, that is a problem for the US, especially if they're trying to be isolationist. So they need to have it back.
And here's the thing, Dave. You this is what you Democrats do. People like you, y'all act like if he's doing something, he's not doing other things. Y'all act like the USA got like one fucking platoon or one battalion in their army. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're here, then the rest of the world. Yo, we have military bases in over 100 countries, man. We can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Hey guys,
don't you think that's the problem?
And scary, and I'm.
Don't you think that's the problem though? Like, don't you think?
No. I don't think
that is literally how you run a nation. You have to be focusing on multiple things at the same time, both home and foreign.
He's not gonna get it though. Like he's a Democrat.
I'm not a Democrat, bro. I'm just.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
You've been coming on this show for 3-4 years, man.
I told you already, I'm a conservative communist. I got more communists, but I'm a conservative.
Conservative communist.
I've already explained this to you. I want a country that's like China. China is very conservative, but they're communist. You can't run that criminal shit over there. You can't run that illegal shit over there. And it's a very conservative country.
How do they do that? I'm not even kind of focusing
Because
on
they don't let their people have all this extra freedom of speech shit. I wouldn't allow that shit either.
So they don't need DEI in their jobs.
We don't need all these extra rights. I'd rather have no rights and no crime.
They're not a multicultural society either, man.
I'd give up 90% of my rights to have no crime. I'd do that.
So you want to be ruled.
So if you knew you could have no rights, if you knew you could have give up 90% of your rights, but there was no crime, the streets was clean, everybody was educated, you wouldn't take that deal? Yes, you would.
No, I won't. No.
Why can't the citizens just have basic common sense and
because people are stupid? That's
why. Exactly. So you need to deal with them. Deal with only the ones who are nonsensical. Like,
look at all of the people from those countries. Where are they fleeing to?
America.
No, I mean, well, the educated ones.
No, all of them. If they can get here, what do you mean the educated ones?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, they all.
Yo, listen, you go to a Home Depot, go to your local Home Depot and see if all the educated Mexicans is coming over.
Oh, I thought you was talking about China, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, let me just play this fucking weirdo right here. He whining about Trump.
Hey guys, everything feels really out of control and scary, and I'm really anxious.
And I'm happy. I'm glad because you fucking trans, fucking weirdo, blue hair, fucking faggots been fucking having us scared and anxious the last fucking 10 years. So I'm glad. You've had us anxious. You've been in control. You've had the most power. You've been canceling people for not calling you ma'am and dressing you with your pronouns and shit. You've been fucking ruining people's lives who don't want their fucking daughter to get run over in some fucking soccer game by some fucking muscle-bound fucking freak saying that they're a girl. Fuck you. We've been fucking scared too. You fucking rat bastard bitch. Fuck you.
Hey guys, everything feels really out of control and scary, and I'm really anxious. Elon Musk did a Nazi salute for some reason. That's so scary. And Donald Trump's the president, and that's so scary. And he basically admitted to voter fraud, but we're all just kind of glossing over that. Also, if you look,
this person who's crying and acting all innocent would be fine. They would be fine with you losing everything. I mean, everything. If you ask the question well, why did George Floyd not just get in the car? They would be fine with you losing your business, your livelihood, just for asking that question in 2020. They would have been perfectly fine. They would have advocated for that.
if you look up, this is random. If you look up right now in the search bar on TikTok, the Taylor Swift song, "The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived," it's all for me at least. I'll tell you, it's all replaced with "woman?" ? What is about to happen?
You overplayed your hand. You had power and you overplayed your hand and turned everybody off. If you trans weirdo fucking goddamn fucking BIPOC and fucking fluid motherfuckers would have slow walked it, people might have still been asleep. Y'all pushed it so hard that people were like, God damn, I can't even talk anymore. A comedian, I would go to a comedy show and I can't even go to a fucking comedy show anymore because of you motherfuckers. And now people woke up and they voted your surrogates out. And now you're out of power. And people are terrified for you to ever have power again because they saw the way you act with just a little bit of power. And now you're fucked because you'll never get power again because people know how you'll act. You'll change the language. Sex change operation is now called gender affirming care.
A woman, cis woman. I don't need a cis in front of me. I am what I am. Like,
they changed the whole fucking language on a dime. Here's the thing. They didn't change the language over like it normally does over decades and years and things the language changes over in regions and then it goes across. They changed the language overnight. And if you didn't fucking say that shit right, they would cancel you, even though they just changed the shit yesterday. Monday, you got to call me by my pronouns. Tuesday, hey man, what's going on? How you doing, ma'am? Oh man, you didn't call me by my right pronouns. You're canceled. But yeah, you just changed it yesterday. So what? You're still canceled. No one wants you to ever have power again. You're fucked and you know it. You goddamn freak.
This same thing happened in Canada. They have it's like a wake up call of this weird shit. Nobody's fucking with this shit no more. So people are same thing happened in France, Germany, Italy. People are tired of this weird shit, bro. So
oh really?
Yeah, it's
like, what are you talking about?
it's all over Europe though. The main thing is this. I don't want to I don't know what the fuck you call these people, but these weird hair wearing people, and then refugees and stuff, especially Europe. They tired of that shit because we getting Mexicans, they getting the fucking, they getting the terrorists over there. So it's a little different over there.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Day. Like they codified it into their law. We kind of caught it before it was codified in the law. Like you can get arrested for misgendering somebody in America, even though you could get canceled. You couldn't get arrested for tweeting a mean tweet about a fucking immigrant. You could get canceled if you had something, but you couldn't get arrested. Over there in Europe, they codified that shit into their law, so they fucked. They took it too far.
Ain't that what Tommy Robinson went to jail for?
No, but I'm saying it's law.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they fucked. They can't turn it around like we could. Trump, we could turn it around just like that. They don't have a strong man on the European stage. A strong white man. There's no white man. You gotta understand. Trump is what every other country has. North Korea don't have no democratically elected dude. They got the fucking dude who was the dude who ran the country with an iron fist for 70 years. His son took over for him. Okay, fucking Russia. They got fucking a guy who there's no point in having an election. He's gonna, he's never gonna let anybody else win an election.
And Putin was in our version of their version of the CIA, the KGB. Putin is a killer.
Yeah.
So
yeah, what I'm saying is that there's no a fucking random fucking homeless gay junkie sitting in the alley somewhere. You can't fucking take his ballot and harvest it and take it to the fucking election booth and put it in the slot.
Oh no, hell no. The best leader right now is
he's not gonna let anybody else win. So it's like everywhere you look on the world is a strong man. There's a strong man on the world stage. America, we've got a strong man. That's on the world stage. And we got a strong man who realizes how strong he is. A white man with some fucking kahunas. A white man who fucked models in the fucking back of the fucking Miss Universe dressing room. You know what I'm saying? We got a man, a fucking real man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And you've got a white man who is essentially now saying, "F you, I'm not trying to be complacent when everyone else can take the piss out of me." He's now saying, "I'm putting my people first. F you to all the rules. I don't care how you feel. It's facts over feelings, and that is how I will move for the next 4 years."
In the UK, is it since you're from the UK, is it really difficult to navigate all this stuff?
Yes, as Axe said, literally the Southport murders, where they've just released the picture of the custody picture of that desert demon. People are in prison because they were saying he was Muslim. So they got arrested because the government was saying, no, you can't mention, like, no, he isn't Muslim. You can't mention it. You can't mention it. People are in prison for speaking on Twitter, making tweets about him because they said
Oh
it was
my god!
speculation.
And I hear that the law, as far as like sentencing, is like that's atrocious. Like there's I was watching I can't remember his name, but he has a Good Morning show in the UK, and there's this guy who he killed somebody when he was like 15, and he's a rapper now, and he's
Oh
like
yeah,
taunt.
yeah, he's like 30 something now, and he's out, and he's still
And I'm
gang
like,
banging.
what the fuck? He only
Like, I
got
mean,
10 years.
literally,
You got 10
people
years for a fucking murder?
Yeah, like people were saying like this guy was Muslim. Oh no, and the government literally put them in jail for saying it on Twitter. And we just got this custody photo yesterday because he pleaded guilty to killing the girls.
Did they even tell you
so
his
why are these
race?
people still in prison? Because they were correct.
No, but did they tell you his race? Because they were calling him a quiet Welsh schoolboy.
Yeah, that's what the government and the police were saying, and people locally were like, "No, this is a Muslim. His parents are evangelical Christians, but they came from wherever he came from when he was 8. Like he is not Welsh because he lives in Wales. Doesn't mean he's Welsh. He doesn't have a British passport that I know of." So people were literally saying what he was online on Twitter. They were arrested. There are still people in prison now because of this, and this happened. I think it was August last year, and he's admitted it yesterday, and apparently it's coming out that he even like the police had visited him, so it wasn't just a completely random thing. Like he was already on some kind
I
of
did read about
mini
this. This
threat
is the
list.
dude that stabbed that random girl, right?
Three of them.
Girls. He killed
Three of them?
Yeah,
I thought it was just one. Oh my god.
Injured 10 more. It was a whole dance class of little girls.
I don't know why the fuck did they arrest him? Why didn't they just kill him on the spot?
Because we are worse than you.
No, because no white country can you kill the person on the spot.
They would have did that out here. If that was Texas, they would have definitely shot that nigga.
No, they wouldn't have.
You don't think so?
No, dude, we cover Texas all the time. What are you talking about, man? On this channel, man.
I
We
don't
cover Texas all the time. What are you talking about? Come on, stop it. There's no place in a white country where you can get instant justice. There's no place. Press 1. There's no place in a white country where you can do instant extrajudicial justice.
Oh, maybe Russia, but that's about
And
it.
now they're saying he's going to mosque in prison. But the prime minister, this twat, was telling us that he wasn't Muslim.
Wow.
Well, I hope you don't never get out though, because I know y'all laws are super weak. You know, they'll let somebody like him out in 10 years.
Yeah, if you can play the audio of that clip, Ak, because you'll hear the parents saying, like, "Do you want our other children to die?" Like, you're so weak.
He walked into a room full of little white girls in a country he just came to and got free welfare. They gave him welfare and housing when his mother brought his ass over here. Gave him education. He walked into a room full of fucking 6 or 7-year-old white girls and stabbed all of them.
And apparently it's coming out, which I didn't know. I only found that out yesterday, that he essentially wanted to do our first like proper Columbine after the 1996 Dunblane shooting. Like that was his plan, to go to his classroom and kill his classmates. But it's like he decided against it at the last minute and just was randomly walking past this dance class and said, "I'm going to murder these girls."
Yeah. And there's a bunch of people like this in there. White people have a bunch of people like this in their countries, and they don't even have to. They don't even know who the fuck they are. Like this guy right here, he belongs in his country with his people. He wouldn't even do this in his country with his people. That's the thing about it. Press 1. In his country with his people, with their mores and their values and their institutions, doing this would be an instant death sentence. He wouldn't even do this in his country. He has the freedom to do this because when you're around white people, you get brave and you get froggy because you're like, oh shit, these motherfuckers are some bitch ass. These white men are whores. They straight skirts. I can do whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you lose your inhibitions, and you lose your restraint. It's if you're a psychopath, because you're like, oh shit, white people are just like they've set their country up for them.
Man, that's crazy. And I'm finna go to London this summer too. I ain't know it was like that out there.
Well, go learn some Arabic before you come.
I got some friends out there. I'm finna go to Peckham, meet up with some people.
Peckham.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, I went
Peckham is
to
Nigeria Central. It's being gentrified, but
I work at a barber shop, and one of my partners and stuff. He moved out there for a little bit, just to take care of some stuff. So I'm finna go out there. He's American, but so I don't know anybody that's actually from there. So I don't know what to do out there, but we'll see.
as I said, the Arabic influence. It's Londonistan. So
Oh yeah, I seen the mayor is well, he's not Arab, but he's a Pakistani or
he's
something.
Pakistani.
Uh-huh.
And he hates the UK. He thinks we're all racist. Hates
Oh
British
really?
cultures and customs, but he accepted a knighthood at the beginning of the year. So again,
I did
if
see
he
that.
hates the
What the fuck
country,
did he
why
do to
would you?
get? What the fuck did he do to get knighted for?
The Labour Prime Minister essentially said he's done such a good job with London over the past 8-9 years.
But isn't like the fucking knife crime out of control now?
Yes, London is. It's indescribable how bad London is, and I've said this to the chat before. But if you've never been to London, if you've never been to England or Europe, you need to go now to see how Europe is dying.
So is it like I know it's gonna sound ignorant because I never been there because you lived it, but is it like from outside looking in, I'm thinking that it's like I know it's black people, white people, whatever, but like when you go to London, is it like in America we got multicultural cities, Is it out there? Would you say it's like split white, black, Asian, or is it?
London is basically it's becoming Spot the Whites, it's Spot the Glider, and from that,
It's their
it
fucking
is
continent
also
though. Goddamn.
basic desert demon land. They're everywhere.
Damn, that's crazy. I wouldn't even
And it
to
is
be.
the same in France, Germany, just anywhere. It's basically desert demons.
Well,
And
yeah,
it is
I seen this.
Spot the Glider.
I watched this documentary yesterday while I was at work, and it showed that I guess now London is becoming it's becoming too hard for immigrants to move there, right? So a lot of the migrants that came on the rafts from France, they're coming back
Don't
on
not
rafts, going back to
it's
France.
easier than ever as an immigrant to move there.
Yeah, I guess the new prime minister, I guess, is I guess they said
That's their
they're
business because London is easier.
oh yeah, because I seen that they're getting on rafts and they're going back to France now because I guess it's the deportations are coming up. Maybe they were
The new prime
capping.
minister wants immigrants.
Oh, maybe that was off. This was on a Vice or not Vice or some documentary channel, but they were showing a bunch of North Africans coming on boats from France.
Yeah, they're arriving. They're not leaving.
Some of them said they don't get no benefits in the UK. That's why.
Yeah. Because as I think I mentioned it yesterday, benefits, you can get subsidized housing, you get subsidized housing, so it's already cheap. Then you can get housing benefit to pay the subsidized housing. So
Oh,
you are
shit.
not actually paying anything. You can get subsidized food, subsidized services, subsidized travel. We have when they talk about the NHS is free. For dentistry and other specialized services, you kind of pay a basic flat rate. If you are on benefits, you can get your dentistry for free. You can get everything for free. So you can have 6 people and then also we provide child benefit. So for every child, you are getting paid money. So you'll have a family of 6.
Listen to this. This brother from England tell you about what it is.
I started carrying a knife when I was 12. I started carrying a knife because everyone was doing it at the time. I stabbed quite a lot of people, and if I was to say and count, I won't be able to count. because there's so much years I was in that gang life, and people remind me to this day about people got stabbed. I don't even remember. You know, that's the God honest truth.
You know, people say that if you carry a knife yourself, you're more likely to have it used on you.
Yes.
Has anyone ever pulled a knife on you? And
Yes.
You've been stabbed?
Yeah, I've been stabbed. I got stabbed in the head as well. It didn't penetrate, hit my temple. So it didn't go through. But I was very bloody. I couldn't eat properly for 2 weeks. And now they've pulled on me plenty of times. People have tried to stab me on numerous occasions. Yeah.
I sort of said it a minute ago, but you talk about it really casually.
Yes. In London, it's normal. It's just one of those things that you wake up, you have your breakfast. Yeah, you wake up and you stab someone, isn't it? It's just like, and it's mad because
More for some men. It's not.
Things that you wake up, you have your breakfast. Yeah, you wake up and you stab someone, isn't it? It's just like.
You wake up, you have your breakfast, and you stab someone.
And it's mad because we don't actually think that we're actually damaging a life. We don't think we're going to kill you. We don't. Obviously now we do sometimes. It depends who you're going after. We used to sit down in the park.
So he unwittingly admits that they're psychopaths. Think about it. Listen.
It's mad because we don't actually think that we're actually damaging a life. We don't think we're going to kill you. We don't. Obviously now we do sometimes. We don't actually think that we're actually damaging a life. We don't think we're going to kill you. We don't. Obviously now we do. We don't actually think that we're actually damaging a life. We don't think we're going to kill you. We don't. Obviously now we do sometimes. It depends who you're going after. We used to sit down in the park and have conversations and say, "Oh, what's life going to be like if we make it to 16?" You know, when we made it to 16, we never planned life past 18 because we thought we were going to die. So we thought we'd actually sit there and be like, "Yeah, man, what's life going to be like when we're 18? If we make it to 18, are we still going to be doing this?" Well, like, because we had no hope. You know?
And look at this white man.
When you carried a knife,
this changes nothing of this white man's politics. This white man, only thing this white man is thinking, how can I help him? What can I give him? What can I give people like him to help fix this, stop them from being like this? That white man's not thinking, oh shit, we got to get rid of all these motherfuckers and stop the new ones from coming in. He's thinking, what can I give this guy and people like him to help give them more opportunities so that maybe they won't have to live a life like this? That's the problem of DNA. And we always talk about DNA with black people. You can't fix that. DNA is set in stone. Press 1.
Would 10, 15, 20 years in prison for carrying a knife be a deterrent for you?
For me personally, with no doubt, giving tougher sentences will prevent people from carrying knives because
carrying a knife. Would 10, 15, 20 years in prison for carrying a knife be a deterrent for you?
Maybe doing this, well, that.
Sir, the fact that he had to ask that, right? The fact that they have to ask that, of course it would. It would be a deterrent as opposed to nothing that you're doing now. Yes, anything, but it's still not going to stop it. It'll put a dent in it somewhat, but it won't stop it.
Back to when you carried a knife, would 10, 15, 20 years in prison for carrying a knife be a deterrent for you?
For me personally, with no doubt, giving tougher sentences will prevent people from carrying knives because no one wants to go for jail for 10 to 15 years just for carrying a knife. That's something you go to jail for manslaughter or murder.
One of the things that the government is looking at is these online videos, and people often refer to drill music and things like that. But online videos, social media used to kind of ramp up tensions between gangs.
Yes.
Do you think that's a problem?
Yeah, that's definitely a big problem. Back in my day, if I was listening to drill music, I'm riding out 24/7. Like if I was listening to drill music every day, the way it is now, I'm definitely committing crime. Like it's not helping. They're doing acts of people dipping and stabbing each other. That's glamorizing and that's wrong.
I mean, he's being honest. And speaking of that, I think you should. It's related to this kind of. It's a different city, but it's you know who YNG Cheese was? Gilly the Kid's son.
We did that the last 2
okay.
days, man. Yeah. What's his name?
The shooter.
Yeah. Go Joker, the Joker. Yeah. Yeah. We did that.
If your child is involved in a gang and there's nowhere for him to hide, you take him back to Africa. You know, it's safer there than it is in London.
If you look,
you have to listen to this.
If your child is involved in a gang and there's nowhere for him to hide, you take him back to Africa. It's safer there than it is in London. If your child is involved in a gang and there's nowhere for him to hide, you take him back to Africa. It's safer there than it is in London. If your child is involved in a gang and there's nowhere for him to hide, you take him back to Africa. It's safer there than it is in London.
If you look, a specific way, or you live in a specific area and you're from a certain age, you are targeted and you will be stabbed.
My mum feels I'm much safer here than anywhere else in the world.
Okay? Okay. Like, there's really nothing more that needs to be said.
Right, you do. Why is it that when they go back to their homeland, the gangs don't spread like when the Latinos, when they got deported to El Salvador, they brought the gangs with them. But when these Africans go back home, they're not bringing the gangs with them. Why is that?
Because over there, you got to respect. You have to respect your elders over there too, man. You have to respect your elders, and like they have a strict society. Don't get me wrong; it's brutal and it's fucking weird, but it's this young men. They'll just kill you. Like they're not like white people. White people are weird because they develop societies for white people. Somalia was developed for Somalians, so they know they got to deal with these young men harshly. They know they would have to fucking like kill these guys or send them off to die in a war somewhere. Like the young men, I know this woman who was in some like NGO, like the Red Cross, and she's my white friend, but she I've known her for years, and she's every time she comes back from there's a flood somewhere, or there was a tsunami somewhere, or there was a big drought somewhere. Like she got to go at the drop of a dime. Like they'll call her, and she'd be like, "Be on the plane, 6 o'clock. Your ticket's going to be waiting at the checkout counter." And she got to fly to some far off country, and they on the ground there, like helping the victims or the refugees or whatever. She was in Africa, Sudan, and she said one village, they were having like a tribal war between some tribe over there, and some mercenaries from Ethiopia, young mercenaries would go over there to help fight for one faction, right? So they would get paid. So poverty is so crazy over there in those villages that the young boys will just go fight as mercenaries in other wars. So like she's at like 400 it was like 4,000 mercenaries came from this one area in Ethiopia to go fight in the Sudanese war. This was when it was before South Sudan was created, like back in the early 2000 teens, right? And those soldiers went over there. They were all like teenagers, right? Most of them were teenagers, right? They went over to Sudan to fight in the war, and within a month, all of them were dead. And there's no CNN, no news story, no nothing. You can't even name the conflict. But that's Africa, because Africa is just. You ever heard Bushwick? He said 10,000 motherfuckers died in guerrilla warfare in a village in Africa, but ain't nobody care. They just called up the goddamn grave digger and said, "Come get these motherfucking niggas." Remember that?
Ghetto boys, yeah, that's fact. Yeah.
It's like there's always conflicts and wars in Africa that don't make CNN. As much as CNN talk about black people and shit, Gaza and Ukraine, those wars are always on CNN and MSNBC, and they're covered on the mainstream news because those wars are like people and shit. These motherfucking African wars is so much killing, and they coming in the villages. holding everybody at gunpoint, making mothers fuck their sons and sons fuck their daughters. And I mean, fathers fuck their daughters and child soldiers and shit, all hopped up on drugs. They can't even cover that shit on CNN. You would think the only two wars going on in the world were in the Middle East and in the Ukraine. There's like literally 50 different conflicts
and
going
most
on
of them in Africa. Or and then the one that isn't in that continent that's just as bad, is Haiti, right? Which is black people. But what's interesting, I want to just make this comment real quick, is that the one place that's like the civilized part of Africa, the most civilized part of Africa, South Africa, they gang bang like America, right? They gang bang like
they have the highest murder rate in the world.
Yeah, but to go back to what you're saying, I think it's because they got a society that's made by white people. So although they are the majority, their mentality is, they're not like regular Africans.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got you, but the blacks there are the indigenous population, even though they weren't there, even though you can say, but whatever. The African is the indigenous population, and they have very low IQs. The Kalahari Bushmen, they have like IQs in the 60s. So they're that's the South Africa. The Khoisan or the Khoisan, they're very low IQ people.
The ones that look Asian, right?
Yeah, they're like Bushmen. They're Bushmen. And you got a hell of an echo, man. But yeah, this is listen, listen. They have a high murder rate and and their society is in shambles, and it's degrading every day. So it's everywhere where there's black people, it's just misery and pain and suffering. But those people, it's safer than London. It's safer than London.
Well, I just read something recently, and it showed that the most dangerous cities in the world, right? And it's 3 that are in the United States, and all those 3 that are in the United States, they're all majority black cities: St. Louis, Detroit, Baltimore, and then I think they added like a couple.
Memphis is on that list.
God damn. One of them it's one city in America that's more dangerous than Tijuana.
Damn. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Ethiopia is having a civil war right now. But no, you would never know it.
I didn't even know that.
Yo, can you mute yourself, man? You got a hell of a fucking echo, man. Like, your echo is insane, Jack. Or can you go out and come back in, man? Try to fix your echo, man. I'll bring you back up. Yeah, Ethiopia is having a bloody, bloody civil war, man. I mean, a bloody civil war, yo. And you would never know it.
أمر يلا حينه يعني أمر يلا حينه يعني كان عندنا مفناي ننور بنا مفنايا ويانت بوت بحرب بوليس سنة كادو عفر عدو تكيه تنهيا تترى سروب بتتهاينا فنها بتهتنه تنبات تل شاكي ستتلو.
Cela fait près de 40 jours que ces combattants afars résistent. Sous-équipés, privés de renforts, ils
Look at
tentent
these
de...
motherfuckers, man. By the time all these motherfuckers are probably dead. Like, they just fucking, life is so cheap over there, man. All those motherfuckers are probably dead. Salute to Doug G, man. He says, hi, long time no get to listen Shout out to Doug G. Doug G is a day one, man. He says, long time, don't get to listen, but my girlfriend is spending a couple days. Oh wow, helping her sister, so I get to listen. Ock Jr., he's doing great, man. I just showed a picture of him yesterday. I'll show another picture soon, man. Shout out to you, Doug G, man. Thank you, man, for coming through, man. Long time no see. Glad to see you still kicking, man. Salute to my man Leroy B, man, Wicked's best friend, man. He says, get Day low IQ ass out of here. Damn, Day.
Come on, bro. Don't do me like that.
Salute to Darren. He says, because of food stamps, niggas eat with enemies. Shout out to Eric S. Ock Nation Hall of Famer coming through once again. And my man Ashton J says, keep in mind, MLK was fighting against laws put in place by Democrats. Wonder if she's going to mention that. Facts. Salute, man.
De contenir l'assaut de leurs voisins tigréens.
This way.
Look at these.
Pour rejoindre ce nouveau front de la guerre civile.
Look at those. I mean, that's where the war is. That war is being fought in the mountains, and it's constant.
It's the crisis that didn't erupt. For over a year now, the news out of Ethiopia has sounded a constant low drumbeat of dread, as mercurial leader Abiy Ahmed seemed to threaten a war of imperial expansion over access to the sea, as a growing rebellion gripped the vast Amhara region, as the International Monetary Fund was called in to bail out an unstable economy. Each time it seemed like this might mark the moment when local problems blossom.
Yeah, like this is Ethiopia is about to go to. I mean, they're already in the civil war, but it's about to be full-fledged. It's about to be full-fledged over there, and you won't see one fucking blurb about it anywhere in the mainstream news. Okay.
I mean, but you to play devil's advocate, all these wars is actually kind of good because these borders was made by the Europeans, so they kind of should just,
Right, it's tribes. They got different tribes. They put like all these tribes are in the same country, but in one tribe gets power and they make all their people in charge. And you got to remember, like these tribes been at odds for eons, not just centuries, but eons.
Yeah, every tribe should be its own country, or at least one tribe should assimilate the rest of the tribes to their tribe.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh wait, Day, do you mean colonialism? Like what are we talking
right.
about?
Exactly.
Like you're literally talking about.
But it ain't. But I'm saying, but when it comes to like. It was a European that did it first, right? And it was an outside force. But when it's African, I don't feel like it's as bad. In my opinion.
The strongest, most dominant group takes over the small ones.
Yeah,
but it's different if it's. I'm saying because before it was an outside.
Hey, when the white man colonized you, he built a sewer system. He built an electrical grid. He builds prisons. He builds schools. He builds churches. He paves roads. He builds highways and all that shit. When the African country colonized you, man, they fucking enslave you and turn your country into the fucking Stone Age. Press 1.
I mean, that has happened a lot, but maybe it won't happen again. You never know. Ethiopians are actually pretty intelligent as far as African standards,
Yeah, definitely. Them and Nigerians are probably the smartest Africans. I'll give you that. But the tallest midget still can't fucking play in the NBA.
The Democratic Republic of the Congo, Africa's second largest country, where the heart of Africa beats around the river of the same name. I've spent 30 years filming here. I've witnessed all of Congo's seasons, the turmoil of its history, the hopes of its people, and its popular uprisings. I've also met men and women fighting against violence and injustice. One of them is a doctor who for years has risked his life by speaking out about Congo's culture of impunity.
Je m'appelle Denis Mukwege. Je viens d'un pays.
My name is Denis Mukwege. I come from one of the richest countries in the world, and yet the people of my country are among the poorest in the world. The abundance of our natural resources, gold, coltan, cobalt, and other strategic minerals, fuels conflict, which in turn causes extreme violence and abject poverty in the Democratic Republic of Congo. For over 2 decades, the Congolese people have been massacred before the eyes of the international community. The people of my country urgently need peace.
He was the only nigga in that room, it looked like. He got to come to a fucking room full of fucking white people to ask them to come fix their problems. He probably one of the smart niggas in his country. Hey, white people, man, I'm like you. I happen to have a high IQ. Let me the one nigga in their country with a high IQ, the only people he could fucking converse with logically about this shit was a room full of white people. Press 1.
The new leader of
my name.
I was gonna say the new leader of Burkina Faso. He's about that life, and he talking everything that I'm talking. He trying to like expand, and he's he kicked the French out of the country. So I mean, come on now.
Oh wait, so he's trying to be isolationist and have his own country's interest at heart.
No, he don't. No, I'm saying he don't want the Europeans intervening in it. That's what I'm saying.
He's trying to put his own country's interest at the forefront.
but that's not gonna happen because anytime black people do that, the CIA comes and kills them. So that ain't gonna happen.
Right. And look, right when I just showed you this room full of white people, this nigga when he went to this room full of white people like help fix my country, and y'all talking about the CIA and shit.
My name is Denis Mukwege. I come from one of the richest countries in the world, and yet
have been committed with impunity. Has been the scene of blood,
cobalt, and other strategic minerals, which in turn causes extreme violence and abject poverty in the Democratic Republic of Congo. For over 2 decades, the Congolese people have been massacred before the eyes of the international community. The people of my country urgently need peace.
Since 1996, Congo has been the scene of bloody international conflicts, wars fought over power, money, and the country's resource wealth. The perpetrators of these crimes are countless hundreds of rebel movement warlords, Congolese soldiers, and foreign armies. These massacres have led to widespread displacement, the use of child soldiers, and the use of rape as a weapon of war. These crimes have been committed with impunity. Mass graves have been uncovered. The number of victims is in the hundreds of thousands. It may even be millions. How could such a tragedy come about? To understand the Democratic Republic of the Congo's recent history, You have to go back to the 1990s, when the country was called Zaire. Mobutu Sese Seko had ruled the nation with an iron fist since 1965. But the aging and sick dictator's rule was coming to an end. In neighboring Rwanda, a tragedy took place that would also have consequences for Zaire. Between April and July 1994, up to 1 million Rwandan men, women and children were massacred. Most belonged to the Tutsi minority. The genocide was committed by the army and by militias of Hutu extremists. But civilians belonging to Rwanda's Hutu majority also took part. A Tutsi army, formed in exile in Uganda in 1987, marched into Rwanda and put an end to the killings. A new government was established in the capital, Kigali. With Hutus fearing retribution, as many as 1.5 million of them crossed the border into eastern Zaire. Among these refugees were thousands of armed criminals, soldiers, and Hutu militia fighters who had been actively involved in the genocide. Refugees crowded into camps set up near the border, forced to live in extreme conditions. The militias took them hostage, using them as human shields against reprisals. The Hutu extremists also imposed their laws on civilians. Their aim was to continue the war and eventually regain power. These camps were a threat to Rwanda's new strongman, Paul Kagame, and to his ally, Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni. Both men warned the international community about the situation.
Peace and stability in Rwanda and in the region will depend upon what the international community can do and how swiftly it can do that. Sending right and strong signals to criminals and addressing impunity in the region is for sure the best solution for all.
White people, come fix this shit for us. Press 1.
Of us. They told them many was the most important thing were two. One, the responsibility lied with the international community.
The responsibility for his country lies with the international community. That's the president. That nigga's the president.
To disarm these people, because we think the whole aim is to cut out the genocide again. We shall not accept it. And that if the international community cannot do something about it, we shall have to do something to do about it ourselves. I didn't go into details of what we were going to do.
We had begged Mobutu to remove these refugees from the border to deep in Congo, according to the UN regulations. He had refused. We had begged the international community to separate the armed people from the refugees. They had refused. So it was deliberate. So this was a public warning to Mobutu. And I said that if the reaction started new trouble, we would provide the solution, not themselves.
Amid a lack of action from the international community, Kagame and Museveni made good on their threat. In October 1996, a coalition of Rwandan Tutsi soldiers, elements of the Ugandan army and Zairean rebels, invaded the territory of Zaire. The diverse group called itself the Alliance of Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Congo, or AFDL. Its leader was Laurent Désiré Kabila, a Congolese figure who had been an opponent of President Mobutu for 30 years. He planned to oust the old dictator and seize power in Kinshasa. Meanwhile, Paul Kagame's main aim was to dismantle the camps, force the refugees to return to Rwanda, and destroy the militias run by the perpetrators of the genocide.
All them niggas living right there.
Looks like Haiti.
Yo, imagine, living there, it has to be hell.
Have you been to Haiti? Have you been to
No,
Haiti,
but
bro?
I've been to other places
You
in
don't
America.
know. I've been there, so it does look like it, but come on now, relax.
It's a refugee
It
camp.
look just like it, bro. What you mean?
City, though. This ain't a city. This is a refugee camp. We're going to have to do Haiti soon, too, man, because we got to check up on Haiti. And don't think niggas ain't washing their clothes and shitting in this same water they get their fucking drinking water from. And they ain't going shit downstream so the shit flow this way. They going to shit wherever the fuck is at. Go ahead.
Oh, that's what I was getting. What I was trying to say is when I said, "Hey," I was mentioning like, what do you think is worse, like the America's crime? When I say America, I don't mean the U.S. I mean the black people in the diaspora. You think is worse out here, or you think is more violent in there?
In Africa,
I know they got. I'm not talking like as far as like the murder. I mean like overall, like us as people. I mean, if that makes sense.
It's not comparable because even in the US, it's measured because it's in a white society. If there was no white people, it would literally be like Africa.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
You see the pockets in the fully sun places in the US, and it's exactly like Africa.
Exactly. Like this river, just look at this river. This river would be tamed. If this was a white country, they would be like, it would be like, this river wouldn't look like this. It would be like a fucking boats and shit. They would have like got rid of all this shit so that it could flow through and shit. Like, this is like natural. Like, one thing about black people is that is good, is that if like the world was, if everything humans doing is hurting the earth, black people are good for the earth because we not gonna do none of that shit. We're not gonna build nothing that emit no carbon emissions. We not gonna fucking restructure the earth. We're not gonna change. We're not build no dams. We're not gonna frack. We're not gonna do nothing. The earth will be fucking left alone if it's up to us. We ain't gonna build nothing. But yeah, man. And on that note, man, I didn't even see what time it was, man. Salute to everybody, man. Any final thoughts, man?
Yes, just me. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that he got in because I was worried for his safety in actually being able to be sworn in. I am praying for him. I'm praying for America. I'm praying for gliders to get their heads out their asses and literally dominate again. And yeah, hopefully it'll be a good term and a good 4 years. And he will inspire the West and the gliders of Europe as well.
Yeah,
please do.
Yeah, y'all get another leader like Trump probably soon. You never know.
Salute now. Trump has come along once in a lifetime. So salute, but
Yeah.
he's doing what he's supposed to do. The leaders like George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, those motherfuckers don't come along every fucking day. Man, you had Martin Luther King, which I talked shit about him today, but he was a magnanimous leader. He was a great man. I talked about the bad part today. But guess what you got after fucking Martin Luther King and Malcolm X? You got fucking Al Sharpton and Ben Crump.
Ouch.
It don't come along. Great leaders don't come along. That's why they call them generational, man. They call it generational because they don't come along every fucking year. Get in the comment section, man. Hit the like button. Shout out to Baby King. Baby King says, I thought I was a shot.
Talk about the movie Shotters.
Yeah, they take the cake. Yeah, man, they special, man. But salute to Day, man. They only 24, man. They a young man. You gotta remember that. Ain't you 24, right?
No, I'm a little older than that. I'm in my 20s still, but yeah.
Oh yeah, you're still in your 20s. Yeah, they a baby, man. Get in the comment section, man. Hit the like button. Peace. I'm out of here.